Flood counters usually don't do much, but what if every one of them made your spells cheaper? That's exactly what Eluge does best. And once the tide starts rising, the value just keeps rolling in. Hey everyone, I'm Philharmonicon and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a mono blue commander that's doing something a bit different. It's all about spreading flood counters on our lands, which then discount our spells. It's Eluge, the Shoreless Sea, and if you love the idea of swinging in with a massive sea monster while casting tons of spells for free, this one is for you. Eluge is a star elemental fish for 4 mana, 1 colorless and 3 blue. It has 3 abilities. The first ability reads, Eluge's power and toughness are each equal to the number of islands you control. Then, when Eluge enters the battlefield or attacks, you put a flood counter on any land. That land becomes an island in addition to its other types. And finally, this is the juicy bit, the first instant or sorcery you cast each turn costs 1 less, either blue or generic, for each land you control with a flood counter on it. That's every turn, not just yours, meaning once your lands are sufficiently soaked, you're looking at a massive discount across the table. This is, at its core, a Spellslinger deck, but not your average mono blue control shell. Here's the strategy. First, we want to spread the flood counters as far and as fast as we can. Then, we want to cast a ton of spells. Value, interaction, card draw, the works. And finally, we win by either overwhelming the board with tokens or swinging in with Eluge, who's now a 10/10 plus sea creature that no one can block. We want to turn as many lands as possible into islands, not just for Eluge's power and toughness, but for those delicious discounts. The Flood of Mars is perfect here. It's niche, but it has island walk. It can make copies of itself, and every attack spreads more flood counters. Aquatex Will and Splash Portal. In this deck, these are basically 1 mana ramp spells for the rest of the game. Drop them early and they pay off forever. Then, we've got blink spells. Essence Flux, Blur, Ghostly Flicker, Planar Incision. All cheap, all instant speed, and all let us reuse Eluges into the battlefield trigger to spread more counters. Displace a Kitten is also hilarious here. Cast literally any non-creature spell, and bounce Eluge to drop another flood counter. Aven Courier, every time it attacks, it spreads counters onto permanents that don't have them. Here, it spreads the flood love even further. Now that our flood engine is running, it's time to cast big, splashy spells for next to nothing. Spells that make you pay X to draw X, like Finale of Revelation, Pull from Tomorrow, Blue Sun Zenith. Scale beautifully. Your discount even applies to the X cost. Frantic Search, Rewind, and Snap. These cost nothing when flooded, and ramp you or untap lands. Total tempo swing. Then there's the blue heavyweights, Mystic Confluence, Sublime Epiphany, and Cryptic Command. Usually 4 to 6 mana, but here, you're often casting them for 0. That's game-changing. Archaeomancer lets you bring key spells back, and if you're bouncing her with blink spells too, that's a loop worth investing in. And finally, Haughty Djinn is just value. Discounts your spells, flies over blockers, and becomes a serious threat fast. Now, we've got 2 main win paths, and both are pretty straightforward. Option 1, go wide with token generators. Talron Sky Summoner and Murmuring Mystic fill the skies with flying tokens for each instant or sorcery spell you cast. Shark Typhoon and Metallurgic Summonings turn instants and sorceries into big beaters. Then there's Chromehost Seed Shark. It's Shark Typhoon with some extra steps, but still super solid. Option 2 is to make Eluge unblockable and go for commander damage. Artful Dodge, Slip Through Space, Distortion Strike, Into the Enigma. They all get Eluge past blockers. Rogue's Passage, make sure the game-ending swing can happen again and again. We're in mono blue. We're going to be drawing cards. Alongside the X draw spells mentioned earlier, we've got Flow of Knowledge and Flow of Ideas. Draw equal to the number of islands you control. These hit hard in this deck. Archmage Emeritus and Archmage of Runes. Draw every time you cast an instant or sorcery spell. Wavebreak Hippocamp draws when you cast on your opponent's turn, which with Eluge, you absolutely will. Seagate Restoration doubles your hand and can be cast for next to nothing. Yes, please. Mono Blue has its limits when it comes to removal, but we're still packing answers. Counterspell, Arcane Denial, an offer you can't refuse. All great, and sometimes free with Eluge's discount. And when threats sneak through the cracks, we've got Pongify and Rapid Hybridization. Spot removal for 1 mana. Reality Shift and Resculpt. Exile effects for 2 mana, often cheaper. Raven Form lets us foretell the spell, and it exiles a creature or artifact. Hullbreaker Horror, a late game monster that bounces anything whenever you cast a spell. Aetherize, a massive blowout card that punishes aggro decks. It's brutal, especially when cast for free. Blue isn't great at ramp, but we get by. High Tide doubles the mana your islands produce for a turn. Sapphire Medallion is a permanent discount on all your blue spells. Thought Vessel works as a bonus, Mana Rock, and no max hand size. Myriad Landscape is ramp stapled onto a land. And of course, Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Felwastone. You know the drill. A few key lands that we can later turn into islands. Reliquary Tower is essential if you're drawing 10 plus cards a turn. Mystic Sanctuary, grab that key counterspell or draw spell back from the grave. Mistrice Village makes the spell uncounterable, and it's great for late game win cons. Scavenger Grounds is graveyard hate baked into your mana base. Eluge is such a refreshing mono blue commander. Instead of just drawing cards and countering spells, we're building a synergy engine. One where the more we flood the board, the more spells we cast, and the harder we swing. This deck does slow down without Eluge on the field, but the Blink and Interaction suite gives us tons of ways to protect and reuse our commander. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this deck tech, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more commander content. And hey, if you're building this deck or picking up any singles, consider using my TCG Player affiliate link down below. And until next time, may all your lands have flood counters on them.